Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from all over the world, football lovers. It's time for us to get into some of the informations that came through the day. We're going to start today by talking about this popular player, young but popular, from the nation of Ukraine. And his name is Mihailo Mudryk, also known as Misha. Misha is a very talented young player from from Ukraine and currently is playing for Chelsea, and there's been a lot of challenge out there about this player. So what is the update going around about it? What is it about Misha this time around? Chelsea had the opportunity to sell Misha in this past summer. German club offered a concrete possibility, but Chelsea said no. They keep trusting his potential, but they want to see a development. Also, with the coaching staff, Mudryk's performances this season will be important for his future. For those of you who follow us on this site, you would notice that I had already projected, is it Misha or Noni Madueke? I think those two players are going to be up for sale next summer. You had it here first. So just follow us and see how the event unfold. For Mihailo Mudryk, with the competition he has now in the team, it's going to be very difficult for him to compete. I think this is what is going to happen. He's going to be given opportunity this season to develop, and at the end of the day, if you ask me, I think Enzo Maresca's mind is made up about this player. He's going to be sent on loan next season. That's what I am projecting from what I could read, the body language, the comment out there, and even the player himself is working really hard. He wants to make it happen, but there's a challenge. It's never really gonna happen with this player. So it's going to be a situation where he's going to be developed, he's going to be helped, and then he will be sent out for loan. And then as soon as he start picking up and doing all the right things, learning straight very well, he's going to be sold to the highest bidder. This is what we think is going to happen with Mihailo Mudryk. Now we're going to be going to the next story. Another matter that we also be talking about today will be this player, Kenyan Disbury or Kenyan Disbury Hall. So the question is beginning to go around now for amongst the Chelsea community, the fans asking question, did Chelsea really need this player? And there was something from another quarter that talks about the fact that this player, when Conor Gallagher was let go, Disbury or did not come in as a like for like kind of recruitment. It's not like for like kind of recruitment. It was for what could be termed as a player that could do both phases of the game very well. He could do the defense very well. He could also do the attack very, very well. And that was the reason behind the recruitment of Kenyan Dewsbury Hall. Whether a lot of fans will be able to speak into that or accept that explanation as very real, it's still yet to be seen. And for obvious reason, this player walked into a team that is star-studded at this time. If you're talking about players that could do both hand of the game very well, you're talking about Enzo Fernandez, you're talking about Moise Caicedo, those two players, and then you throw in another player in there in in what is his name called now? The young man that was signed for Southampton for about 52 million pounds, that is having a little bit of fitness issue. Talking about Romeo Lafayette. If you throw that one in as well, you have three solid midfielders who could do both end of the game very well. And so that leaves everybody to scratch their head right now about what is really the merit, the reason behind the recruitment of Keenan Dewsbury Hall. But for one good reason, one also have to think about it this way, because Chelsea is going to be involved in a lot of competition this year. Chelsea will compete in the EPL. They already put in a marker down to say, hey, we're here to compete. We're not here to roll over. So the EPL, that's about 38 games. And then the cup competitions, the League Cup, the FA Cup. And then in the Europa Conference League as well. That's a lot of games to play. And then in addition to that, in January, Chelsea is also going to be participating in the World Club Cup. So there's a lot of games to play. So it's the early days for anybody to begin to scratch their head and say, oh, why do we bring in Keenan Dewsbury Hall? There's always a place in the team for everybody. Even Kenny Chukwuemeka, even the young Italian player that started for Chelsea in the last game against Barrow FC. So a big club is going to be the way to manage the schedule issues with players this day, because there's a lot of game being played, and that should be able to resolve the issue. It's just about squad rotation. The next thing we will be talking about in this video is about the number of players in this team contributing goals. Goal scoring has always been a problem with Chelsea in the past few seasons. There is this chart I'm working on, which I am going to be able to discuss with you all in the subsequent episodes of content that we will be putting up in this channel, just to be able to see the way Chelsea had performed over the years. What has happened? What is the story between the rise and fall in 2015? What happened? Why is the reason why Chelsea finished that season with around 40 something points? And in the season following, they shoot up to win the league with Conte. And so what happened the following season when they had to drip deep into some 70 something points with Mauricio Sarri to finish third and then win Europa? And then what also happened that they also dipped further with Frank Lampard, and then they go up a little and then they dip down. We're going to be discussing that in some content that we will be rolling up in this site. But for for this video, we're just looking at across board in the team. This is very good when you have different sources of goals in your team. It makes the team a very potent team. It means Nkoko can score, Pedro Neto can score, João Felix can score. What's his name? The main guy, Nico Jackson, could score. You could get goal from Cole Palmer. Mudryk is also pushing to score goals. So those are very good metrics to look at, and this is very, very good days for Chelsea. In the next thing that I will be showing us here, you will see the contribution of goals. This is only taking into consideration the EPL goals chart. In the EPL goals chart, we can see that the guy topping the chart is Nicholas Jackson. He's played 5 games. The only game he hasn't scored this season is the game against Man City, and I think against another game against what team did we play that he didn't score at all? We played 5 against City, we lost 2-0. We played next game against Wolves, and against Wolves I think he scored one of the goals against Wolves. And then against Crystal Palace, I think he scored the only one goal in that one. And then he scored 2 goals against West Ham. I'm just wondering, what other game did we play that he didn't score? We played against Bournemouth. He didn't score in that one as well. So it's distributed the game across 3 games. So out of the 5 games he played, he scored in 3 of the games. 2 against West Ham, 1 against Crystal Palace, and 1 against Wolves. And in the other 2 he didn't score at all. So he scored about 4 goals. And then you look at Mudryk, he scored a hat-trick in that game alone. He scored 3 goals. Haven't started 4 games and played in 4. And Cole Palmer 2. And if you ask me if Cole Palmer is still just warming up, he's still just warming up. And Christopher Nkunku, it makes a lot of sense. He's been coming in as a sub. And in the match against West Ham, he should have scored. He should have scored. So this is very, very good for Chelsea. And then I saw this chat somewhere on the TL, and it's interesting. When I saw the chat, I will show it to us now in a sec. There you go. Look at that chat. Look at that chat. With these 8 players, you could actually build the front 4 for 2 teams. And what the gentleman who came up for this, what he's trying to do is that which of these front 4 are really going to be on top if they go against each other. I think it's going to be interesting. And so Chelsea is really blessed at this time to have this lineup. So in this lineup, for the striker position, for the cam position, for the wing position, right wing, left wing, it's all covered, pretty covered. And these are quality. If one of them goes out and you bring another guy in, let's take for example, you withdraw Sancho and then you bring in Mudryk when the game is already at 65 minutes, 60 minutes, 70 minutes. A Mudryk that is still fresh, that can still run, that can still carry the ball into the channel, or in a team that can still attract, draw opposition out of position with possession kind of play in their own half, deep in their own half, baiting you to come out. And with one long switch to Mudryk, who is fleet-footed, it's going to be a dangerous team to play. And then if you pack the box, and then you have a Sancho in front of you that wants to combine with Nkunku or Palmer behind a Jackson, it's going to be interesting. So from nowhere, the recruitment this season just took Chelsea up that way, and the fact that we don't also have injury helped a lot. It helps by very huge margin. It helps by very huge margin. Oh yeah, so Caicedo, again, I cannot overemphasize the fact that this gentleman is beginning to come to his own right now. He's beginning to come to his own, and he's only just going to get better. It gets better and better as his fitness improves. It gets better. And this is going to be the last item we'll be discussing today. In this one, you know how that sometimes you don't appreciate what you have until they're not there anymore, or you lose them. There was this talk on Talk Sport where Leicester City fans goes hard on their current manager, and this is what he had to say. He said, "We had Enzo Maresca. It's like changing an iPhone 16 for a Nokia brick. That's what we've got now." So they're beginning to feel it, and Chelsea is beginning to smile. So there's something to really learn about this. I remember when this name was mentioned and another name was mentioned of the current Ipswich manager, and even before now, I remember Vincent Kompany being linked with Chelsea job, and a lot of Chelsea fans, for obvious reason, we've always had some of the best managers in the world, the top of the class, the big names with swagger, And then now you're talking about these young coaches who have really never managed a Premier League team or a big team. But there is a paradigm that is shifting now in football coaching, football management. Some young coaches are beginning to hold their own, and people better start paying attention because the paradigm is shifting all the way. So, for all of us here who came out today to listen to our content, please like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to turn on your notification button as well. And if you have anything that you dispute or better idea or a thought that you want to share with us, please go into the comment section below and make your comment known there. You are welcome here. Here is a place where you can say your mind and we can rub mind. Will we see you in the next one? Till then, have a good one.